welcome. You're watching News Unlocked, the show that takes you beyond the headlines to the real stories that matter, the stories that should matter to each and every one of us as citizens. News beyond the noise is our motto here. Today we take you to the millennium city of Gurgaon, or Gurugram as it's now known. A city that has the highest per capita income per square kilometer, a city on the outskirts of Delhi that has witnessed rapid urbanization to become one of the leading financial, industrial and IT hubs. As I said, a city with the third highest per capita income in India. It's the land of powerful and influential businesses, sprawling skyscrapers, a hub for startups and shopping malls. But in the last 48 hours, Gurgaon has looked very different. One day's rain, enough to bring the entire millennium city, a city that was touted as a smart city, to its knees. Today we are going to focus on why is it that these hyped up cities as smart cities cannot handle rainfall. What is the reason why these cities completely collapse every monsoon? Gurugram is a symbol of all that's wrong with India's urban skyline when it comes to the monsoon. We're going to bring you citizens, CEOs today to talk to us and talk to this country about India's monsoon crisis. First, let's take a look at why just a day's rain was enough to sink Gurugram.
23 mm rainfall in the 24 hours ending 8:30 am on 19th of August. Another 95 mm in the next 3 hours. This, officials say, is 6 to 7 times the usual amount of rain received by the city. And so the city that claims to be one of the sparkling examples of bustling satellite metropolis came to a grinding halt. Rainwater gushed on main and arterial roads, underpasses were completely submerged, a stretch of road on NH48 caved in, vehicles were stuck and traffic jams were reported.
योगेश जी कितनी देर हो गई आपको जाम में?
2.5 घंटे हो गए। आगे अभी तो हमें नहीं लगता है कि 2-3 घंटा और खुलेगा।
In residential areas, the rainwater flooded basements.
लगता ही नहीं कि हम गुड़गांव में हैं। कौन सा साइबर सिटी है ये? कम से कम यहाँ 50-60 घरों में पानी भर गया है।
The waterlogging was so intense in some areas that rafts had to be deployed to evacuate people.
There are efforts being made to make sure that these tunnels and these, in fact, subways, which are connecting the very posh areas of the golf links, entire landscape of Gurugram, can now be, the water be taken out. Look at this, about 8 fire brigade vehicles from the Gurgaon administration and also from DLF are pumping out water. This will tell you the kind of drainage facility that Gurugram has.
Among the worst affected were 7 of the 11 underpasses in the city. The district administration worked overnight to pump out as much water as possible.
And now we are crossing this underpass at Rajiv Chowk in Cyber City, Gurugram. And look at this, how it is completely submerged. However, as a precautionary measure, these water pumps have been installed here by the Civic Corporation to clear the water.
But even more than 24 hours later, some stretches were still waterlogged.
Yesterday when I visited Honda Chowk, there was the similar condition, and here it remains the same. Almost this entire stretch is flooded. Only few fifths of the road is open for the traffic, and that explains why there is often a traffic jam when there is a heavy rain. Don't see any arrangement here from the civic agencies or the government or the concerned authorities. However, there's a Gurugram police, Nagar Nigam, the municipal corporation. These authorities have deployed their civil defense volunteers and staff to guide people.
Severe waterlogging was seen even today, and by the evening, following hours of pumping out water from the submerged subways, situation improved considerably.
Many questions being asked. The residents very, very angry because this water which is being now thrown onto the road is creeping into the sectors on both sides of this main highway in Gurugram.
But this is not the first time that the city has been left inundated. It has now become a yearly phenomenon. Residents feel that the drainage system in Gurgaon leaves a lot to be desired.
Let's now talk to some citizens of Gurgaon. We asked them to turn citizen journalists. We asked them to tell us their ordeal over the last 48 hours. Take a look.
I moved into Gurgaon in 1991 and I live on Golf Course Road, which is considered one of the premier roads in this city. Do we really live in a smart city? Gurgaon has always had a permanent problem and dark underbelly, which is waterlogging. Come monsoon, it is the same problem. And every year we are promised that this year we are ready for the monsoon by the local administration. I think we Gurgaonites deserve better. You get a feeling that streams and rivers are flowing all around us. Who should we blame for this? Is it the apathy of the local administrators who run our city? Or should we hold the engineers and developers who built our millennial city?
And when we came here 22 years ago, it was a beautiful place, full of trees. Suddenly in 2010, problems started happening. The drainage just disappeared and we started witnessing the first flooding of Palam Bihar.
First of all, we have no body and there is no plan as to how to execute it, how to fulfill it, how to complete it, what will happen, where there is no blueprint of any drain which is flowing.
Now there's also a Gurgaon Metro Development Authority. They look after the big infrastructure, the huge things, and I think it's right now their responsibility to ensure entire Gurgaon, because it's not just our D block. Our D block affects us immediately, but entire Gurgaon. You saw what happened with the underpasses. There's water everywhere. Everywhere there is no proper drainage, no connectivity. Nobody knows where all this water goes.
So is Gurugram a sinking city like so many of our metros? A city that was built up as the Millennium City, has it become a sinking city? That's the question that I want to raise. I'm joined by V.S. Kundu, CEO, Gurugram Metropolitan Development Authority. Dikshu Kukreja, urban planner, is joining me. And I'm also joined by Rahul Kapoor, one of the many residents of Aralia's condominium, the high end of Gurugram. Thank you all very much for joining me at the moment. I want to turn first to the Gurugram CEO, V.S. Kundu. I appreciate your joining us. You tell us, I know it's not easy when you get such heavy monsoon, but the images that we saw in your underpass yesterday on the Golf Course Road, that some believe is among the highest per capita income roads in the country, what does it say? Why is every year Gurugram sinking, sir?
Let me clarify one thing, that the Golf Course Road inundation that happened yesterday was not really expected. This is not one of the critical points that we have. We had actually identified 79 critical points, and we had identified 37 super critical points on the basis of legacy of flooding that happens in Gurugram when the monsoon rains, heavy rains happen here. So we are still investigating the cause why the Golf Course Road got inundated and why the underpass got inundated.
Sir, but I must ask you this. I must ask you, this is an annual phenomenon. Some say that Gurugram is surrounded by the Aravalli Hills, built on rocky land, and therefore when it rains, the rainwater cannot be absorbed. That over the years, not enough sewage facilities are in place. These are all cities that have been built on land which it was not meant to be built on. This was never meant to be constructed land. Do you agree with that?
No, I do not agree with that. I will not agree with that for two reasons. One is the soil profile here in the Aravalli foothills that Gurugram is actually built on, the surface runoff factor is only 0.3, which basically means that if 100 mm rainfall falls here, only about 3 mm rainfall would actually run off. However, when a city is developed, as it is right now, the surface runoff is about 0.8, which basically means about 80 mm of 100 mm rainfall would actually come out onto the ground as a surface run.
Right.
Now, the city, when it was originally planned, it has 3 major drains, which are called leg 1, leg 2, and leg 3. They are capable, of taking a normal rainfall. What happened yesterday morning was we received more than 120 rainfall in less than 4 hours.
So you're saying,
if you remember, in 2016,
yes,
a phenomenon called Guru Jam had happened, when actually for a really large amount of time the traffic jam had happened, the water could not be cleared. In that year, 118 rain had been received over 6 hours. We received yesterday 120 rainfall in less than 4 hours, out of which more than 90 actually came in 1.5 hours.
Okay, so
when this amount of water comes in, there is no possibility for the existing drainage system to cope immediately.
Okay, I'm going to come to that existing drainage system, because that's a critical factor. Dikshu Kukreja, you're an urban planner. You tell us, existing drainage system. The drainage system was presumably for a Gurugram without the skyscrapers. Now you've got a Gurugram heavily built up. Clearly, the existing drainage system is not enough.
Rajdeep, unfortunately, the irony of this whole situation is that why are we always doing catch up with our infrastructure? Planning and infrastructure is meant to be designed for the future. Here we are talking about some statistics about rainfall, etc. We should be well aware that this is climate change and there are flash floods and flash rains which have become an annual phenomenon. Why, when we talk of a millennial city, why is the infrastructure not designed accordingly? It is common logic that Gurgaon sits at the foothills of the Aravallis. If there is water flowing down the Aravallis, in fact, I would say it's an opportunity for good planning. There should be a network of water bodies which should be planned, and that water body will help us in avoiding a discussion 6 months from now when we talk about Gurgaon running dry without a drop of water.
But is it too late? Is it too late to plan? Mr. Kukreja, is it too late that first you build, you construct over in and around the Aravallis? This was farmland till about 20-25 years ago. You heavily constructed. Now you say, let's get drainage in place. Shouldn't it all have happened together? Is it too late?
Well, certainly it should have happened earlier, before this construction was happened, but we can't go back in time. Having said that, whatever is the situation today, certainly the images that we see are horrific on your channel, and this has to be avoided. So technology is at our fingertips today. We can go ahead and fix it. Why are professionals and professional opinions not sought in going ahead and fixing the problem, rather than year after year the same debate about the blame game between one authority and another? I would even say the time has come, and I've said this before, I wish somebody would pay heed. The time has come to realize the significance of water as a precious resource, and what we need to do is have an integrated water management, not just for Gurgaon. I would say, just like we have the NCR Planning Board, we have to have a one-point single agency which takes care of the water problems of the entire metropolitan Delhi. That's the way we need to look at it.
Okay, the integrated idea is something which I'll just raise with the CEO in a moment, but I want to come to you, sir. Rahul Kapoor, you are someone who lives in Aravallis. This is among I presume among your neighbors now is Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. For those who don't know, Aravallis across the country, it's one of the most prized pieces of real estate. All of you have your golf courses, you have your private gardens. Well, why is it that the citizens of Gurgaon have not put enough pressure on the system to say enough is enough? You're all MNC CEOs, you are people, so the high flyers of the country. Why don't you put pressure on the system?
Rajdeep, firstly, thanks for getting me on your show. The fact is that Gurgaon is a city which has been built by private initiative. As you know, the visionaries, Mr. KP Singh of DLF and the people at Unitech and Ansal, they are the ones who actually conceived and envisioned and built the city. So it's interesting that about 11 years ago, an American client of mine visited Cyber City along with me. And you'll be surprised to know that this gentleman looked at the glazed buildings on one side and the absolutely broken roads, which could be likened to the roads in the Corbett jungle. So when he looked at it, the contrast was very clear. all the good things you see in Gurgaon have been built by the private sector. And all the things which have been neglected, the blame for that stands at the door of the public sector. So let's talk of Sadak, Bijli and Pani. The problem is that when Cyber City was built, the roads, as the gentleman just before me said, the planning should have been done in advance. You know, the roads, the other infrastructure, the sewage, the drainage, all that should have been taken care of while the city was being built.
No, I take
but
that,
here the
but
government
today
keeps playing catch up.
No, so you're playing catch up, but what if the DLFs, the Ansals, the Unitex, indeed all of you, top honchos of this country went to the Haryana government, went to the Gurugram Development Authority and said enough is enough. We will all come together. Many of you have the mind space. You are all, some of you will be surely urban planners. Bring the best minds together. Why can't 100 of you bring the best minds together to fix Gurugram? If you can't fix it, who can? Make it a symbol of private sector initiative or public-private partnership.
Absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree with you, Rajdeep. You'll be surprised to know that a lot of things which have happened in Gurgaon, the good things which have happened in Gurgaon have happened because the public has gotten together. You know, there are organizations like I Am Gurgaon, which is behind the Biodiversity Park. Had they not been there, the Biodiversity Park would have had a road running through it today. So there is a lot of, public outrage and, getting together of, as you call the honchos, to, put the necessary pressure on the government to make sure that, things start working out. And I'll give you another example of the complete apathy of the government. There is this city, the Millennium City, does not even have a waste management plant. Our plant in Bandhwari, it became dysfunctional about 5 years ago. Till this date, it is completely dysfunctional. Nobody seems to bother. And 600 tons of waste is being dumped in the Aravallis.
So you're saying that you're blaming
again,
in a sense
people need to get together.
Okay, I take your point. I take your point that people need to get together, put pressure on the system. I just want you to hold that thought because look, it's NCR, National Capital Region, the fastest expanding area in the country today. There's Noida on one side and there's Gurgaon on the other. Many CEOs stay there. Listen to some of them, what they say when they compare Noida and Gurugram.
It was developed largely by a private company, DLF. And of course, they did a fantastic job. They're very good builders, but their priorities and business model is different. Noida was started by the government. Now, the very important thing in Noida was that it developed the industrial area first. It developed the sector first with all the infrastructure, water, roads, drainage, everything. Once that was fully developed, then they invited people, application for allotment. Whereas in Gurgaon, the development and new areas and allotment and construction, everything went together.
I hate to do this and say that it's the government again which is in the dock, sir, but as the CEO of the Gurugram metropolitan region, I must ask you this, Mr. Kundu. You've got an underpass, new underpass which gets flooded. Here you are listening from residents saying we don't even have a proper waste management plant in the entire Gurugram. You need to fix this. Why can't you and all these CEOs sit together and fix it so we don't have to show this story next year? I know that the rain was heavy. I know your team has done great work last night to try and get the streets cleared. But still, sir, the question arises, year after year, you need to fix it.
Rajdeep, I do not want to join the blame game. I accept the blame completely because my organization is responsible for managing a flood situation and managing the master drainage of Gurugram. So the buck stops with me. Let that be very clear to everyone here.
Okay.
Now, there is no magic pill. This city has grown it has grown definitely from private initiative. DLF and Ansals and Unitec and a lot of other new developers have come together, have built absolutely fantastic looking buildings. But part of the problem is also because a large number of private builders who actually came in, who developed their own part of the projects without really getting or waiting for the government to put the infrastructure in place. again, I do not want to get into a blame game here.
No, but why can't you, and I take your point, and that's very reassuring to have a bureaucrat say the buck stops with me. It's very rare. I'm asking you, why can't you call all the experts of Gurugram? There's a lot of talent there. Get them across a table and make this a mission for the next 1 year. Why should brand new underpasses collapse?
Rajdeep, that is exactly what we are doing in GMDA right now. Right now, there are 5 major plans, long-term plans, which are being prepared. There is a comprehensive drainage plan of the Gurugram city, which has been prepared, but the execution is going to take some time. We were actually in the process of making a lot of components, executing a lot of components when COVID actually struck. And therefore, for these floods, we were caught a little unprepared. The unlock happened only in the end of May. And the teams have done, I must say, I'm leading a team of about 200 officers in GMDA and in the municipal corporation who are very sensitive to the citizens' requirements, who are committed to their job. And we will definitely, whatever solutions are possible on the ground right now, we will definitely find those solutions and execute those solutions.
Okay,
Execution will take some time. It will not happen overnight. It may not happen in 1 year also. It may take more than 1 year to get all the things in place. But we are there, we are thinking and planning exactly on those lines. We are bringing the best brains together to help us with the planning and the design.
Okay, so that's reassuring that you're willing to at least bring in those best brains. I have only a minute on the program and therefore 30 seconds each to Mr. Kukreja. You're single. Where do you start? Very quickly. What would you advise? Where would you start?
Well, it's heartening to note that there is some kind of an acceptance with the authorities. But I personally feel that, till we don't move away from the system of the lowest tender, the works being awarded to professionals on the basis of lowest tender or the construction agencies, this problem is not going to go away. We see on your screen cars turning into gondolas, but we must realize the side effects of this. On the one side, we are talking about world business coming into India. With these kind of images, what do we expect to happen? What about another lurking fear of another pandemic like dengue and these kind of things happening because of still water? So there are a lot of issues attached to it. What we must realize is that the technical expertise is there. We are very much there, willing to come and help the authorities, but you must seek the best technological solutions from us. Unless the authorities want us to come and participate, it's very unfortunate. We can't just go and knock at their door and say, let us come in and help.
Well, Mr. Kundu is promising on the program, any of you who want to come and help, you can reach out to him. He's made the effort. I hope that the people of Gurugram will not be the typical Indian affluent who only complain. They will come together. Here is the Metropolitan Authority head saying, please come and let's work together. We do not want to see these images, and whatever happened to the Smart City project, that's for another day. Thank you all very much for joining me. As I said, on the News Unlocked, we will continue to focus on the issues that we believe that matter to you, the citizen. You've got to change the way primetime news is done. After the break, we'll have plenty more on that other big story that continues to break and have twists and turns, the Rhea Sushant story. For now, thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.